Hello everyone, and now welcome to Game 2 in the series between ASD and Dimaga. Game 2 taking place, oh my goodness, I want to call it like Spaceship, but that's the name that's jumping out to me. I'm sure someone out there in the comment section has already wrote what the name of the map is. My apologies. For some reason I thought they were all the standard BattleNet ladder maps, but this time it is not. Now, I am not unfamiliar with this map. This map does have a curious expansion here with a rich Vespene geyser, but it does take more workers in order to harvest from it, and it's also covered by Fog of War, so it does have a little bit of strange reactions. Also, units from the low ground can attack up onto the high ground, taking down that rich Vespene geyser rather quickly. Dimaga has spawned at the 12 o'clock position. ASD has spawned at the 9 o'clock position. Only 2 spawning locations on this map, even though the map is relatively large in terms of expansions. You can see that there are a total of 6 expansions or 6 bases on each side of the map, plus this expansion that goes straight down the middle. For some reason, no expansion was built off over here. There is one of those smaller expansions right here. Only, I believe, 5 mineral patches and 1 Vespene geyser. So a little bit of an odd third base to take, at least for Zerg. It is kind of expanding into your opponent. I believe the third base will most likely be taken down over here. Probe now making its way in. It is going to take a look around and see that there is no hatchery just quite yet. Gonna build that pylon anyways and make his way off to the north. ASD opening up with a forge first this time around, as the probe will take a look around, spot that the spawning pool is already there, and Dimaga is just going to simply build 4 Zerglings, get 1 queen, and then try and establish this hatchery down here. So as soon as this spawning pool is done, we are going to see those units all of a sudden just simply pop out here, as we are going to into a hatchery here at what would normally be the third base location. So Dimaga, not even bothering with this one particular pylon, decided not to destroy it, and we are going to see ASD spotting out this particular expansion here in just a moment. Alright, Overlord has spotted the 1 forge off over here. Nexus is already coming in, as the Zerglings are now making their way down to destroy this pylon. Off over here in the Fog of War, we see ASD actually doing perhaps a cannon attempt here, and we'll see whether or not that's really going to make any much of a difference. You can see Dimaga does have an Overlord in position, and yeah, that pylon, that Overlord brilliantly placed to actually spot this 1 photon cannon. Zerglings now chasing after this probe, and now will the Zerglings perhaps be able to get back in time for this photon cannon? That photon cannon has already is already about 20 or 50% completed, getting very, very close, as a new photon cannon now coming in as well. There's a cancellation on that hatchery there, as the Zerglings now going to perhaps go after this, and wow, a brilliantly played, brilliantly done, and forcing a cancellation there. Are we perhaps going to see a new hatchery here? No, it looks as though this hatchery is going to be placed down instead, one of the more risky variety, as we will be seeing perhaps a pylon warp down here in just a moment. The probe now wandering around, going to be coming in right across here, taking a look, and it will spot this hatchery. Meanwhile, the Zerglings will easily clean up this probe here, as the probe will simply wander through. I love the mineral pathing foresight by ASD to be able to just simply pass through all of those Zerglings, as the probe's now trying to get away. We are seeing a Cybernetics core here. The probe may not be able to escape back home. There are simply too many Zerglings, but then again, the run distance is not that much. There is an oh wow, actually able to actually regenerate some shields there, and now it looks like this probe will be able to simply retreat and return home. 1 Zealot holding the front. This 1 probe already down to 11 hit points, and yes, it will be able to retreat and return home with little to no problems. This 1 photon cannon off over here is going to be holding and creating a lot of zoning problems for Dimaga, especially when ASD finally expands. Dimaga is very limited in terms of his expansions. You can see that this base is finally up and operational. Will he go for the faster rich Vespene geyser, or will he just stick to the normal Vespene geyser variety? as we are seeing one Overlord trying to sneak its way out. It's not going to really be able to make its way out of here all too easily. Already down to 63, it's 50 hit points, 36. I believe it will get taken down. Final shot. There it goes. Its guts splattered into space. Now, Dimaga has a number of questions he needs to answer. How is he going to saturate this one hatchery? Does he even want to saturate this hatchery since it is so close to his opponent? You can see that this is a full 8 mineral patches. A full 8 mineral patches here, and sorry about that. Full 8 mineral patches as the Zealot now trying to back away, doing a little bit of cleanup there, a little bit of hit and move, but the Zerglings, all of them are in the red. Overlord still hiding off over here. Queen and now setting up a macro hatch over here for Dimaga. Dimaga is still sitting on a very heavy economic game and economic strategy. Will he be able to pull it out is the key question. ASD is actually looking to do a bit of a aggressive timing. 3 additional warp gates will be operational in about a minute or so, and this may be a strong timing with a robotics facility. Dimaga has not really got a return on investment on this hatchery and this base off over here. You can see the large number of early sentries coming in from Dimaga, coupled with the immortals coming in as well. Now that we see 7 total gateways operational, we know that ASD is simply pulling back from his aggressive economy, and he's just going to be training many units. ASD should be able to take the army lead in just a moment, especially if he is chrono boosting out all of these immortals, but he will need a large number of zealots. To deal with the sheer number of Zerglings that we see currently from Dimaga. Now, there's going to be a very small window of opportunity for ASD. I believe his timing attack should happen around the 11 to 12 minute mark. Right as these warp gates get operational, you can see that the attack is now coming in. That is a large number of sentries, and Dimaga needs to be very suspicious of what he sees here. We can see that another pylon has been warped in here, chrono boosting out, and more units are still making their way in. Sentries just going to clean up all of those Zerglings there, or a lot of them, as units are now backing away. Alright, Dimaga now responding with a whole bunch of spine crawlers. He needs to get a lot of defense, and now also going into Banelings. Banelings may catch these sentries off guard, especially as all of these sentries are currently just tightly grouped together. 3 Baneling hits would be a miraculous miracle at this point, as we are now seeing more and more stalkers just warping in. Baneling movement speed now coming in, as we are also going into a pylon here, a very forward pylon. ASD looking to attack. Level 1 armor upgrade about to be completed, and what is happening here? There are Banelings now morphing in, and that is going to be a huge problem as those Banelings are all corralled together. Are they going to perhaps go after those units as more and more stalkers are now coming in as well? Dimaga now also investing very heavily into his army. Army compositions, you see a much larger gas army coming in from ASD. Here we go. Here's the attack. Zerglings going to perhaps attack that front door. Force fields need to come in from behind. And is it going to be coming in? Yes, it is. And here's that engagement now. Banelings getting destroyed, getting detonated here. And what is going to be happening next? All those Banelings are backing off. Beautiful positioning. Dimaga losing a lot of these units all over the place as the Zerglings are now trying to engage. Banelings now rolling forward and getting in a couple of splashes, but nothing more than stalkers. In comes carpet bombing though, and this could be a problem. All of those sentries need to get separated. Dimaga able to carpet bomb on top of all of these sentries here. Beautifully done. Dimaga losing much in this engagement, and ASD now just needs to simply reinforce. Zealots now need to engage off over here. This hatchery just getting poked apart by 2 stalkers. 1 stalker doesn't get taken down at all. Here we go. Drones now trying to make their way back. Overlords now trying to make their way in. ASD has just attacked at a beautiful timing here. Dimaga now forced to retreat once more. Banelings are going to be rolling back, and what is going to be happening here? Banelings, beautiful force fields as the Zealots were able to take down some of those Banelings, sacrificing themselves, but still a beautiful hit here as the Stalkers are still moving forward. More Zealots need to be added. The Immortals still with a lot of kills, a beautiful force field on the ramp, and ASD is going to take out Dimaga in style here in Game 2. with a beautiful 7-gate 1 robotics facility timing attack after he baited Dimaga into trying to expand once more. Banelings are going to be able to roll down and hit the ramp here. The force field was not in a good position at all. Zerglings now trying to finish off the rest of the Zealots, as we see the one Warp Prism will be dropping the units back down onto that low ground. Alright, Zealot getting taken down, and there is the GG by Dimaga. Dimaga losing 2 games in a row. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.